Hello, I'm Gnome, and welcome to your July 2019 episode of Out of the Vault. If you are new to my channel, first of all, let me say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you, and for all of you returning, I'm sure you're very excited to talk Disney once again on my channel. And today is going to be a very interesting review because we are going to be talking about the 21st Disney Pixar film, and let me tell you, it is the one that a lot of people are talking about, and it definitely is something to discuss. Of course, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, they return once again in the somewhat anticipated and expectations all over the place, if you will, Toy Story 4. So, this is a movie that, as far as I'm concerned, has a great deal of things to unpack, because this is the movie where people just had that burning question. Why is this happening? Especially after an amazing send-off where the torch is passed on from Andy to Bonnie in Toy Story 3, with an ending that made grown men in a theater cry. How could you possibly figure out a way to continue this story? And if you really think that you have, you pretty much better do a damn good job. So I saw Toy Story 4, and I have to say, they did find a way. To their great credit, they did find a way. But before I get into all those details, I will just be blunt. It is a movie that didn't have to be made. I'm glad that it's here. I had an amazing time watching this movie, but for what it is, and based on where the story of Woody, Buzz, and all the gang has gone to, it really wasn't necessarily something that had to be done. But let's go into the reasons as to why I feel it should be here and why it shouldn't. And I think we should go with the shouldn'ts before the shoulds, because as far as I'm concerned, there are some very interesting and good things to take away from this movie. So, as I said, besides this movie not really needing to be here, I really didn't care much for a lot of the new characters that they introduced. And I say a lot because there are two specific ones that definitely brought something interesting to the table. And I really don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to try and be as evasive towards details as I can. So, of course, the new characters are the ones that you see in the trailers. You see this stuffed bunny and duck duo that are voiced by Key and Peele, as well as a new character named Forky, who is a spork with a couple of arts and crafts attached to him that Bonnie makes in school, and now he becomes her favorite toy, and Woody is trying to make sure that he understands his purpose as a toy and not his true purpose, which actually happens to be trash. And he's voiced by Tony Hale. These characters, I have to admit, while they had a massive amount of moments in this movie, and granted they had a lot of great parts that made me laugh, I kind of really didn't care for these characters, because at the end of the day, they really were more so a push towards Woody's story, which is pretty much the main point of this story. There's also the character Duke Kaboom, who is voiced by Keanu Reeves, and as many have said, Keanu Reeves has just been on a massive hot streak ever since he started doing the John Wick movies. He's talked about now, he's relevant again, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I was kind of happy about the fact that they gave us a very interesting look at this specific toy based on where he came from and why he's there now. But again, I felt that they really didn't do much for this character, so at the end he was kind of a wash for me, even though he did have some really funny moments. And also there were a lot of jokes that were in this movie that tried to be constant running gags, and some were just a little bit over the top, and it wasn't necessarily something that I felt was bad, but it was something that at some point in time I was just waiting for the cow to go out to pasture. We also get the return of Bo, and that was one of the main driving forces of this movie entirely, because she sort of got the shaft in Toy Story 3. We know that she's not with the group, and they don't really say much as to where she had gone, but what they did do was they did give us a good backstory as to why she's gone, and now we find that Woody and Bo find each other once again, and Bo is definitely not what she used to be. She now has a more open mind, a better understanding of the world and what it truly means to be a toy. And here is where all of the positive things come in. There's another toy that has a much more significant story, and it plays into Duke Kaboom's story as well as Bo Peep's and Woody's and this new character voiced by Christina Hendricks named Gabby Gabby. Because Duke Kaboom, Bo, and Gabby Gabby all tie in to Woody's main focus on this story, and it goes all the way back to the very beginning. His job, his purpose, his reason for existence was to keep a child happy, and we see that even after he's passed on to Bonnie. But the question really is Woody truly happy? Is he okay with the fact that things constantly change? The fact that he may not be the toy that the child plays with and is the favorite, and that's where Forky really comes into this story. And through all of this, he learns that there are so many different ways that a toy can become neglected, forgotten, or lost. And one of the few things that revolves around all of these specific stories with these specific characters is the child has the ability to move on, but the question is, will the toy move on and continue on with its life? And that's the main message that Toy Story 4 presents to the audience. Woody's purpose this whole time has been selfless, has been heartfelt, but at the end of the day, he's losing himself. He doesn't really know what it is to be truly a happy toy. And through this last big adventure, I mean, let's hope that this is the last big adventure, Woody finally makes the decision that he should have made ever since Andy officially gave him up. And through this, we see Woody going on a brand new adventure that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really think we expected, as well as the rest of the gang. But at the end, we definitely feel happy and sad at the end, and I also have to give this story props for the fact that they really gave us a great ending. Even though Toy Story 3's ending was definitely better, there's still great emotion, there's still great heartfelt moments at the end of this story, and that's one of the few reasons why I was very happy with where this story ended, with the fact that this new installment really found a significant role in the Toy Story lineage. But once again, it's great to have it, but it's not necessarily something that we need. And even though there are some amazing additional actors that voice a whole array of different toys throughout this film, new and old alike, it really doesn't make anything truly better, because I still feel that the original 3 are still some of the best Pixar movies I've ever seen, and Toy Story 4, while again, it is a great new addition, it's not necessarily something that we truly had to have. And I'm kind of happy about the fact that, taking a look at where Pixar is going further down the line in the next few years, we're not getting any more of these sequels. I mean, it's got the nostalgia factor. A Toy Story fan is going to appreciate this film. It is a good movie at the end of the day. It is one that I will see again, and it is one that I will get on DVD to add to my collection. And that's also because of the fact that I do have all the Pixar movies, until they truly give me a horrible Pixar film. Because say what you will about A Bug's Life and Cars 2, and even though I'm not a big fan of Cars, the original, I still find significant, enjoyable things within all of these Pixar films. So until I get a truly horrible Pixar film, I will keep buying them on DVD. So once again, Toy Story 4 is a great and fun film. It is something that you will truly have a good time with in theaters. It's a great family film, but you will say probably the exact same thing. It's relevant, it's great that it's here, but it just didn't have to be here at the end of the day. So I'm going to give Toy Story 4 a 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Toy Story 4, and I will see you in the next episode of Out of the Vault. Take care. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.